Hey guys, I'm gonna do a video real quick. This being a what's next video for the most recent fight night, headlined by Marina Rodriguez against Amanda Lemos. There's 4 guys I want to talk about from this card, and I think we'll start with Grant Dawson. Now, Grant Dawson faced Mark Madsen, who is an Olympic wrestler. So you can only imagine my surprise when Grant Dawson put on an absolute wrestling clinic against him and even got a submission over him in the 3rd round. And that leaves Grant Dawson so far undefeated inside of the UFC, aside from 1 draw. But now, as of this morning, he's officially ranked number 15 at lightweight, and he definitely seems to have a lot of potential. In his post-fight interview, he called out Tony Ferguson, told him to come fight for that spot, and to be honest, I really don't want to see that fight. I'd rather see Tony fight someone who's also a veteran like himself, rather than a young guy on the rise. So I picked 3 guys that I would like to see Grant Dawson fight. Those 3 guys being Arman Tsarukyan, Mateusz Gamrot, or Jalen Turner. I would be most interested in seeing him fight Jalen Turner out of the 3, but against any of those guys, it would be a close fight and a tough fight. Now on to the next fight, Tagir Ulanbekov against Nate Maness. Tagir was able to sub him in the 1st round with a standing guillotine choke, and oh boy was it tight. Really, I could only think of 2 guys that I'd like to see Tagir fight, and those 2 guys are Jeff Molina and Muhammad Mokaev. And I picked those 2 guys out because Jeff Molina likes to turn all his fights into wars, and Muhammad Mokaev is currently undefeated in the UFC so far. And I think Mokaev against Tagir would make for a very competitive fight, especially considering how similar their fighting styles are. So I'd rather see Mokaev versus Tagir. Now on to the co-main event, Neil Magny fought Daniel Rodriguez and managed to sub him in the 3rd round. And right after his fight, I was thinking, he should fight either a guy like Stephen Thompson, Gilbert Burns, maybe Bilal Muhammad. And then he went ahead and called out Gilbert Burns, which I think will make for a very entertaining fight. It's definitely a harder fight to pick in comparison to most of Neil's fights, but I think he has a really good chance of beating Gil. But if it wasn't Burns, I would probably say Bilal Muhammad, even though I know he just beat Sean Brady and probably should be fighting against somebody else in the top 5 as well. But I think Neil Magny versus Bilal Muhammad would make for a very good fight. And now on to the main event. Amanda Lemos was able to get a 3rd round knockout against Marina Rodriguez in a fight where it looked like Rodriguez probably took that 1st round while Lemos took the 2nd. And it seemed like Rodriguez kind of had a bit of control in that 3rd round up until she got caught. But once she got caught, Lemos rushed her and just landed a flurry of strikes. It was very impressive, and to be honest, if I didn't think Alexa Grasso deserved the title shot, I would probably say Amanda Lemos does. But I would give it to Grasso first. So as for Amanda Lemos, I'd say give her someone like Jessica Andrade or Rose Namajunas. Andrade was in the crowd that night watching the fight, and she was definitely there for a reason, considering it's the same weight class, and it wasn't a very big event. So I think she was there solely to scout out these 2 girls. But if not Jessica Andrade, I say give her Rose Namajunas. It's been a little bit since Rose fought, and I think she'd probably have a really close fight with Amanda Lemos. But as far as a future title shot goes, I'd say if Lemos can win her next fight, I would give it to her. And it looks like that's all I got for y'all. So I hope you hit like, subscribe, and all that.